All right, so we're going to look at interpreting a box and whisker plot. So we're going to have a real scenario here. A grocery store manager collected data about the amount of money spent by the first 11 customers on a given day. And we have our list of amounts spent, and they are thankfully in order from least to greatest. And so we have to get our 5-number summary so that we understand how to make our plot. And I've already have the plot here, but it's still a good exercise. So I always like, from my perspective, to go ahead and look at the minimum and maximum first. So there's my minimum is $1. My maximum is on the other end. It's the largest number. So I have $68. My median is going to be in the middle. So I like to just keep track. I got rid of one on each end, one on each end, one on each end. Oh, and good. This was an odd number. That's right, because it's 11. So I have a nice number here in the middle. My median is 10. So I have $10. Now, my Q1 is going to be in the middle of my bottom half of my data. So I'm going to go get rid of each end, get rid of each end, get rid of each end. So my Q1 is $5 because that's the number in the middle of the first half of the data. So now I'm looking at the number that's in the middle of the second half of the data for my Q3. So get rid of the 16 and the 68, the 20 and the 48. So it should be $25, which is in the middle. And so this is nicely plotted for me already, which is great. Keep in mind that each part of my box and whisker is 25% of the data, and you can see that the range of those numbers in that 25% can vary widely. So between the minimum and the first quartile is 25%. Between the first quartile and the median, there's 25%. There's 25% of the data between the median and the Q3, or the third quartile, and then another 25% of the data is between the third quartile and the maximum. So let's answer some questions. This asks 50% of the customers spent between $5 and what amount? So I want 50%. So here's my $5, which is my first quartile. So here is 25%, and then here's another 25%. So there's my 50% of $5 and I look and see where that is. That's $25. This range of numbers that's inside the box that goes from the first quartile to the third quartile is called the interquartile range. And to get the number that represents that, I would take the Q3, which is 25, subtract the Q1, which is 5, and 25 minus 5 gives me 20. So the interquartile range is 20. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of erasing here, and then we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the next item. What percent of customers spent at least $25? So when I say at least $25, I mean $25 or more. So there's my $25, and here's my or more. And since that's really just one section, that's 25%. So what percent of customers spent at least $25? That's 25%. That is just one example of how to interpret a box and whisker plot.